everybody doing today? This is Greg Woodman to talk a little bit about what we've got, that's new at boot camp to help you get more dealers in there. A couple of things. First off, number one, why Trane? One of the things that we see across the country when we get into class with dealers is we know with simple objection, like, what's the difference between Trane and Carrier? And it's amazing the number of the dealers that can't tell you the spine fin story, the compressor story, talk about the 13 different things that we have in common across our entire product line. And they say, oh yeah, they're both good pieces of equipment, but they don't deliver on that message in a manner that consumers can actually understand, which is why, we've really got to go back to our basic tools and talk about, like the why Trane difference and show them pictures of spine fin and what happens over the course of time with efficiency and capacity and comfort, most importantly. And why our compressors are different, why it's hard to stop a Trane. Just the compressor story about why we can flood our compressors and get away with it when the other ones can't, when we're like in the comfort R mode and that fan's blowing at 50% capacity and could possibly slug a compressor. They just don't get the basic bottom line things that make us reliable and durable, which we know are number one and two things that consumers want from a heating cooling system out there, along with the comfort that they've been promised. The other thing is to be able to set a Trane dealer apart. And very important, with our Comfort Specialist program, that we show that this is a unique dealer and that they are in that upper 10% in the country with their installation service and the way they do business with the public. Another thing that we have talked a lot about, especially in this economic environment, is what we call price conditioning. Price conditioning. What that means is, as we talk to reps across the country, we have never seen a time where they're more beat up on price than they are right now. I think we all know that. And when we talk about price conditioning, when the customer brings that subject up to us as we're talking to them on the phone, when we arrive at the house, when we lay the proposal down all the way through, we have to give our dealers an easy way to say, well, Mr. and Miss Homeowner, first off, is price a concern for you? Let them vent that fear, if you will. And when the customer says, well, absolutely, we're on a fixed budget, we don't have a lot of money, we're worried about our jobs, our income has gone down, we say, well, you bet. Well, first off, Mr. and Miss Homeowner, let me put you at ease. And that is, I want to let you know that we have a lot of different systems. We've got like 3 families of system in the Trane line that we can meet any budget that we have out there. And what we'll do is we'll sit down, we'll design your system to do what you want it to do first with comfort and energy efficiency and all those factors. And then if you like the system but you don't like the price, it's okay, don't worry about it. We can always go to the next best system until we fit it in your budget and deliver on all the things that you were looking for. So we teach our dealers this in boot camp so that they can soften those blows all the way through there so the homeowner knows, hey, they don't just have one really high price system, they've got a whole family of systems from the budget clear on up to the higher end. So we do a lot of that when we're in boot camp these days. Now, backing down the line, one of the things that we found was by having a proposal with just one price on it, sometimes the dealers were not as quick to go down, or more importantly, a lot of times if the dealers would go from their first solution, which was a Trane high efficiency with variable speed and 2-stage, they'd drop it right down and they go to a different line like Goodman or somebody else and just go to the cheapest thing they possibly could get. So one of the things that we did was we came up with a proposal that stays to the boot camp part of the process where we still show the customer the absolute best solution to their needs. But if the customer has pushed back on price or they've compared to somebody else, then we have 2 other options back here where we can say, well, folks, I can go to a lesser cost system as long as you're willing to give up on some of your comfort concerns. And it makes it a little bit easier for the dealer to do that. But the unique thing about this proposal is it is only Trane. In other words, we can keep them in the Trane family. You can quote an XL system on here, an XR or an XB system, depending on what the customer wants. And it makes it very easy on the dealer and the homeowner to show them a second or a third option if price is a concern, as long as they tie it right back to those comfort concerns and say, you understand, this is a great system, but it's not going to do quite the same thing. Let's go through your comfort concerns and let me show you what that's going to do for you. And then let the customer make up their own mind. Now, another thing that we have is the class follow-up. Not only through the guys at the ACT group, we can do follow-ups after class. We also do follow-ups before class now and helping the TMs in selling these classes out there, because I know you guys are getting pushed back on time and cost right now. I mean, everybody's cutting costs, and we understand that, which means you've got to sell your way through this. You've got to do a better job of going out there. When you sit down with the dealer, you don't just say, we got boot camp, where you coming? You sit down, you go through a process where you say, well, let me ask you a couple of quick questions today. Don't even mention boot camp. How's your profitability? Are you as effective on the leads that you've got right now as you'd like to be? What is your average ticket? Are you getting beat up by the economy right now? What are you doing to solve that? Once the dealer tells you what those problems are, you can prioritize them, then say, you know, I tell you what, we've got a boot camp coming up in the first week of October this fall. You need to get in there because you had said you have this problem, this problem, this problem, and this problem. These are all high priorities, and we can solve those with that particular class. How many folks are you going to send? Then you need to get out and actually walk the dealer through your presentation of what you've got new for boot camp this year and why it's important for them to come back every year and be prepared to handle the objections. Just like we teach our dealers to handle objections in the home, you've got to be willing to say, you know, I understand, you're right, it is a fairly large investment for you folks, but you had said that you want to solve these problems, these problems, these problems, and every one of these problems is costing you money right now, which is significantly more than the money it's going to cost you to get in boot camp to fix these. So be prepared when you go in there. We are currently putting together a packet for you to help you do that. And with our pre-conference calls, we can set you up with those tools and get your TMs ready to go. Well, if you have any questions, give us a call at the ACT group or go to nopressureselling.com or give any one of our trainers a call and we'll line you up on what the details are. Thank you so much.